Hello, welcome back to my channel. In today's sewing tutorial, I'd like to teach you how to hem your pants by hand, how to hem dress pants by hand, how to hem trousers. And today the technique that I will be using is called the blind stitch hem, or also you can call it invisible hem. And what that means is that after I'm finished, the stitch should not be, when done properly, it should not be visible on the right side of the fabric. So the stitch will be done by hand and inside the garment. Step one is to determine the length of your pants, what the finished hemline will be. And to do so, you can try on your new pair of pants and mark the spot. If you do this technique, make sure you're wearing your shoes on to make that finished hemline right where you like it. The second option to get the measurements is to use your existing pants and just copy the measurements so you can lay it flat, the old pair of pants on top of the new pair of pants, and then mark the finished hemline. And that's actually the technique that I will be using right now. So when you do that, you have to make sure that these seams at the top, at the waistband, they are aligned. I have a belt loop on each side, so I need to make sure that the seam and the belt loop aligns. Lay it flat. So make sure your working surface is nice and hard. You don't have any clutter. And then you align these seams. The inseam and the outseam, you align them nicely to create that crease at the front and back of your pants. So align them nicely. And next, I want you to take your pants that you like, the length, because remember, we're just taking the measurements off of it. Same thing. So make sure the outseam, that seam next to the pocket on the outside, on the side, you know, that side seam, nicely coordinates with the other one. And then when you lay it flat, make sure that the back of pants lays against the back of pants of your new pair. Okay, just like that. Again, check the inseam. Make sure it's nice. Perfect. That's good. Okay, take the other leg, pull it. And now I want you to hold your pants at the waistband and then hold the hemline and pull it just to make sure that you don't have any folds along the legs, that everything is nice and flat. Okay, perfect. So now I can see that I will have over 1.5 inches. So I would say like the standard is about 1.5 to 2 inches. So mine is more than that. And for that reason, I will have to cut off a little bit of that hem. So mine is about 4 inches, and I will leave about 2 inches for seam allowance. This is my cutting line. This will be my hemline. So that's where I cut. This is okay. So once I have like that, right, it should be nice and flat. Okay. So once you have your legs aligned nicely, beautiful, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I want you to mark a finished hemline right at the edge of this hemline. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So that's what I have. Okay. So now what I will do, I will put my ruler and I will mark it. 1. And as I do this one, this mark, I will flip my pens up just one leg at a time to mark the other line and then the last line. And same thing on the other half of the pens. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay, and that's my cutting line, which I will also mark. But this time I don't have to copy that mark onto the other leg because, you know, the cut line is only 1. Perfect. That looks good. Perfect. That's beautiful. Okay. So I have marked the finished hemline. And then that's the cutting line. And the seam allowance or the hem allowance that I left is 2 inches. You can go about maybe half an inch more, but I'm confident that 2 inches will be enough. The next step is to cut off the excess fabric. And if you have a serge machine, you can nicely finish that edge, the fabric edge, with a serge to secure the edge. Or you can cut it with regular scissors, and then you can finish that up on your sewing machine with the zigzag stitch option if you have the zigzag. And then another option would be to use the zigzag scissors. This is the option that I will be using, just to save myself some time. So again, after I've triple checked the full length, that I have everything the way it should be, I will go ahead and cut that off. Beautiful. Okay, that's one. Now the second one, I will double check to make sure nothing's moved. So each line needs to, okay, line on line, and the chalk mark on chalk mark. Perfect, that's good. Okay. So that is my hem allowance, and what I will do now, I will turn my pants inside out and I will get my sewing needle and the thread ready. I also will make a knot at the end of one string of the thread. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the next step is to turn that hem allowance just like that. So this is the right side. And this is the inner side, that's the wrong side, right? So I want you to arrange that seam on top of the other seam and pin it with a pin. Just like that, and on the other side. And do the same thing with the other leg. Okay, perfect. Okay. Make the knot. Okay, as you can see, I made a knot only on one end of my sewing thread. I didn't connect these two strings, and that is mainly because I want this seam to be, the stitch to be invisible. Before I go ahead with the stitching, I want to point out that you need to match your sewing thread to the best that you can to the color of your garment. If you don't have anything that's very close, go with the neutral one. And also I want to point out that before you start stitching, you want to double check the bottom of your pants. Sometimes they're very narrow and you would have to let out a little bit space at the seam, at the side seam. So mine are pretty straight, they're just straight legs, so I don't have to worry about it. But if you do get those narrow one, just loosen up a little bit of that stitch here, the seam, right? And then you can stretch it and it should work out well. So the first step is to obviously remove the pin. Make sure the finish hemline, the mark, the chalk mark is nicely where it should be. And I want you to, like when you hold it like that, I want you to kind of like open up the hem allowance against that seam. So first I will hide the knot inside so it will not be visible. Just put that in, pull, secure it. And now what I will be doing, I will be pinching just few fibers on each side, like opposite side. And I will pinch about 1 to 2 fibers on the showing side, so the one that comes on the outside, and then a little bit more on the hem allowance. And you can go either way. You can go right way, left way, whichever is more convenient for you. So make that fold. And then, okay, as long as I'm at the seam, at that stitch, right, I will definitely take more than that because I know it will not show on the other side. So this is my way of securing that stitch so it will not go anywhere. And also make sure you have a good thin and sharp needle. That will make your work much easier. So you're gonna want to grab, just like I said, 1 to 2 fibers, not more. So I have only one, and pull. And a little bit more on the other side. You can continue with that stitching right at the edge, but because, you know, accidents do happen that, you know, you can put your foot the wrong way and you can undo the stitch. So for that reason, I'm trying to hide it as much as I can. Okay, so again, 1 fiber and then couple. Okay, my thread is tangling a little bit. I should have used wax to keep it in place. I didn't. Again, 1 and 1 or 2. Okay, that's what we have so far. Perfect. Okay, don't take too many because if you do, it will most certainly show and that just looks ugly. You don't want that. You want to have that invisible looking finished hem. That professional look. See, I just grabbed too many fibers. So I will remove the needle and do it again. Just 1. And if you have good and sharp needle, that's absolutely not a problem to pick only 1 fiber. Okay. So that's how this looks so far. Let's take a look. Okay. So far, you can see it that this will not go anywhere. It's secured very good, very well. And that's how it looks like on the right side. So you most definitely can't see anything. Okay. So I will go ahead and finish the stitch all around. And I don't think you want to watch me while I'm doing that, so I will fast forward this video. Once I'm done with this leg, I will continue with the other one, and we'll check how it looks. Okay, as you reach the end of the stitch, I want you to secure that stitch so it will not go anywhere. Okay, so what I want you to do is to just poke the needle a little bit, grab a few fibers from that seam allowance, here at that seam allowance, one side and then the other side. And I want you to take that string of the thread and then just roll it a couple times, more than a couple, 3, 4 times around the needle, and then pull that up. So that will make the knot. And then get that needle back inside. But I want you to exit in different place. Like I want you to poke the needle inside the seam. Just make sure you're not connecting with the right side, the front. Okay. And then pull it out the other way. So away from that knot. Okay, perfect. And now it's safe to cut. Beautiful. Okay, so let's see how that looks. So purposely, I had the color of the thread a little bit lighter than what the manufacturer used. As you can see it, I did that purposely so you can see how awesome this alteration can be done if you use this technique properly, how invisible this stitch can be, and how well your plain hem can look. So that's the left side, and here and there you can see the stitching. And let's double check, everything nicely attached, as you can see it here. I didn't skip any stitching, so all stitches are nicely attached. And let's double check the right side. That looks awesome. Perfect. That looks really good. You can see. I will go ahead and press that, and we'll have another look. But I think it looks amazing. Very well done. That's very well done. Beautiful. Look at that. Can't even tell. Okay, finally we can turn the pants the right side out, and I'm going to press the legs, and that's the final step to see how that alteration turned out. Beautiful. Flip it to the other side. Let's look. Beautiful. That looks awesome. Look at that. Okay, if you like my sewing tutorial, please don't forget to share it with others, like it, and subscribe to my channel for more amazing content. That looks just perfect. Let me know what you think about this video. Leave me a comment in the section below. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.